What is up, everyone? It is time for the TNA Impact Wrestling review for 31315. It was a good episode. I felt like it was stacked card wise. There was a lot of feuds that have kind of been building over the past couple of weeks that we kind of got you know, not necessarily a finish to, but we kind of got that completion type of thing where we see, finally we get to see the feud. So that was a good thing. Speaking of feuds, we got a video package to start out. It was on the feuds. It was on the main three, the Rude and EY, Magnuson, Bram, and Spud and EC3. So it focused on that former friends, now enemies type of thing. Kind of focused on There Will Be Blood. So it was a good video package. Kind of made the show feel a little bit bigger with like a serious main focus on not just necessarily one match, but multiple matches. I thought that was kind of a cool thing. Any thoughts on the video package, Casey?
Um, it was an okay video package. Only thing I don't like is I don't like with TNA. It feels like when they do all of their kind of feuds and storylines are all similar. Like all of them right now are once friends, now enemies. It's just too much. But I like the video package. It was a good one. Um,
So next, we started off with an opening 50-minute promo. No, actually, we started off with a match, and I was like, "Wait, what? Am I watching a wrestling show, right? No, wait a minute, wait. I don't understand." I was like, "No comprende. Like this doesn't happen ever." But we started off with EY versus Bobby Roode in a last man standing match. I don't know when's the last time I've seen a wrestling show start with like a crazy match, like a last man standing match. Do you remember a time, when something happened? I know it's happened before, but it's been a while.
um 1999.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh,
the Attitude Era. That's the only time cool stuff like that ever happened.
that is true. So we started with a last man standing match, which it was a cool way to start the show. I was like, oh man, we're starting with a match and a last man standing match. I'm ready. Um, So, Rude runs right in to go after EY, obviously, because there's a lot of bad blood there. They start to trade blows. We get a really aggressive start by both men. Rude takes the fight outside with a nice drop kick. The crowd obviously wants tables because any match you can ever use tables in ever, the crowd wants tables. So, the crowd was obviously screaming for tables in this match. EY starts to take the fight to the ramp. Rude brings out the table, much to the fans' delight there. EY comes back with a nice running neck breaker. I thought it looked really good. EY tries to go for the power driver on the steps. If he would have hit that, I would have just been like, yes, in love with TNA forever. Um, but he teased the power driver to the steps, but takes a back body drop. They tease the double count out type of thing where both men are down and it could end up in a draw multiple times. But then we get the catching power driver by EY, and that looks to end it. I thought the catching power driver looked nice. Taz kind of pointed out that it's kind of hard to catch your opponent in a power driver like that, but I thought it looked really nice the way he did it. EY grabs a chair like it's his signature weapon of choice. It seems to be some sort of article of anything is like a secret weapon of choice for all three of these feuds. EY teases actually hitting the fans with the chair in anger, which I like. Kind of gives that crazy effect to it. EY starts going with the chair shots. Rude comes back and hits a pile driver on the chair. Um, Actually looked like it could have injured EY a little bit just the way he fell. Um, Rude was looking for the Rude bomb through the table from the inside of the ring to the outside of the ring, but that's reversed. EY tries to reverse into the pile driver through the table. If he would have hit that, I would have just been like, all right, that's good. But we get a Rude bomb through the table for the win. A couple of things I took from this match, other than just a rundown of the match. The blows in this match looked pretty brutal. Just they looked really aggressive, which was good and makes sense for the feud. There was good camera work on that running clothesline that Bobby Roode did. I love how the camera just followed him all the way through. Thought that was kind of cool. EY with the catching pile driver was also nice, and a Roode bomb through a table, always is gonna get a good reaction. So good match. I thought it was good way to start the show, get the fans involved, get the fans kind of excited for the rest of the show. So any thoughts on the EY Bobby Roode last man standing match?
Um, it was a good match, like you said. I it was really intense, which you kind of expect with guys like EY and Rude. Um, just because they've wrestled together so many times, they've known each other so long, so they know how to do a good match, how to put on a good match. Still, the storyline still kind of throws me off. Just the fact that EY is the heel and Rude is the face, sort of, which doesn't seem like it should be right, but it works. I like it. But it still always kind of throws me off just a little bit because I'm like, no, EY's happy. Why EY not happy? Um, but I didn't like the only thing I didn't like, and this is always my kind of issue with last man standing matches or false count anywhere or no disqualification type matches anymore, is they don't go anywhere except for outside of the ring or up the ramp. They don't go in the backstage anymore. They don't go in the crowd anymore. They don't go anywhere. Which, I mean, there could be a rule against it anymore. I don't know. I don't know that part of the business really that much, but I just missed that. It seemed more intense when they would go like in the backstage area or in the crowd or something like that. Um, but this was a really good match, though. I thought it was kind of pay-per-view quality, really. I was surprised too because I didn't expect too much from this match, just because we've seen EY and Rude so much, and we've seen repeat matches so much, not just with Eric Young and Bobby Roode, but other guys in TNA. Um, just because they kind of do have a little bit of a limited roster, and they don't have like the star power of like a WWE or something like that. So you can't really against them, but this was a good match.
Definitely a great way to start the show. So next we're backstage with Spud, and he says Mr. Anderson's back there with him. He says, you don't have to do this. Spud says, I have to do it. People like him, talking about EC3, think if they can do what they want, he's threatened. I don't care if I lose. I don't care if I get my head shaved. But if we do shave his head, we all win. So basically, he's basically trying to say that getting revenge against the bad guy is kind of a win, and kind of standing up to him a little bit more so is what it's all about. So that was a nice little backstage thing there. Then we had a video package on Angle and Lashley. When I first watched this video package, it kind of looked a little weird. I know I tweeted you during the show, but I don't think you were watching at that time. But I saw the video package and I was like, was Angle pinning Lashley when they did that? But he wasn't. I could tell it was Rude when I saw the beard. I had to look at it a couple of times though. Like it looks like he's pinning Lashley. I don't know why, but it does. Um, any thoughts on the video package or the backstage segment with Spud?
I wouldn't have put it past TNA because they have been ruining shows like that where they show the preview ahead of time. And it seems like they've been doing that, like we've said, since they've been on Destination America, which is why they ruined next week's match. Like, we already know what's going on. But anyway, I like the backstage with Spud and JB. Wasn't anything really special, but I liked it. And the video package was okay. I didn't think it was anything spectacular, but they're kind of building up they've never faced before, so that's kind of cool.
Yeah, indeed. So then we get a Drew Galloway promo. He comes out to the ring, and he says, talking about the MVP, calling him out and stuff like that. He says, I feel passion from all of you, talking about the fans. I feel the passion from real fans of professional wrestling. I'm a fan first and foremost. I want to feel the passion from the crowd. He goes out to the crowd and joins the crowd, which is always a cool thing, especially for those fans who've gotten those kind of high price seats. Especially when you get to kind of be with a wrestler like that. I think that's kind of a cool thing. He says this feels a little bit better. It's story time with Drew. He says once upon a time, paraphrasing here, in professional wrestling, he used to matter what the fans thought. We decided what would be on TV, dictated what would happen in the ring. He said, let's have a survey by a show of hands. Who wants to take back pro wrestling? Obviously, everyone raises their hands. Um, he says, this brings me right to MVP. He tries to shove his BDC down our throats, and then MVP comes out. MVP says, look at you. Out here panning to all these flat scans, of course. He calls them flat scans. He says, as far as you're concerned, I am God. I literally hold your life in my hands. Once upon a time, you were chosen. Fans chant, "Who are you?" to MVP. So I thought that was cool. Um, he says, "You don't have a brain. You're too stupid to realize what you've done and who you've done it to. You've been chosen by the BDC to get the beat down of your life." Drew retaliates and says, "You're gonna have to speak up some. I think they're calling you something." MVP says, "I'm gonna do you a favor and ask my brothers to step to the back so we can, kind of fight one on one." I thought this was a good promo, especially by Drew. We've heard MVP talk since he came, so kind of cool to hear Drew, kind of standing up for the fans. They've been going with this hashtag stand up thing for the past week at least, so I think it's a cool thing, and it allows Drew to kind of show what he can do on the mic too, because he didn't really get that, and I think it's kind of cool that they keep hitting on that chosen one thing because it kind of brings it back in your head that he's really talented. He's still talented enough to be really good. So thoughts on the promo before we get to the actual match?
I love this promo. I love that he got in the crowd, and incorporated them again like he did last week. I like that they kind of focus or kind of jab at kind of WWE in a way by mentioning that he was the chosen one, referring to back when he was in WWE. And I like that it was a match between EC3 or not EC3 MVP and Drew because they were kind of in WWE at the same time at that point. When Drew was the chosen one, um, and unfortunately that never kind of went anywhere because WWE sucks at doing following through on things sometimes. Um, but it was a good, just in general promo. I like his mic skills. I wish WWE let him, you know, be on the mic more and did something with him. Um, because I like that he's in TNA, but it's hard to say that he's really gonna go anywhere in TNA. You know, um, it's kind of hit or miss with success in TNA.
Yeah, yeah. Also, we got a fan on the Spreaker version of this broadcast. Ryan is watching. He said, "Casey, you're kind of distorted." He says, "Also, I love you," with a big smiley face. So, so Ryan showing support from the other room. I think he's actually watching TNA now. He said, "Shout out, excitement." So, but after we get Drew Galloway versus MVP, Drew Galloway, starts to beat down MVP. Yeah, ironically enough, MVP uses the ref to take control. Drew kind of shows in this match that he's a big physical dude, but he's still got some agility too. He tries to go for the future shock, but the BDC come out and beat down Galloway. Obviously ends the match in disqualification. Low key looks for the Warriors' way, but MVP says, "Nah, nah, nah, not right now." Um, Low key is going to beat the crap out of Drew while he's on the post, but Moa Joe stops him. So it seemed like they were maybe teasing some dissension between the BDC, which would make sense considering Joe's leaving. But he actually gives him a lead pipe, and he hits Drew's head with the lead pipe while Drew's head is leaned against the pole. The running front kick by Drew Galloway in the actual match was really nice. I like when he does that. The pole shot, I guess it was the ring of the pole. I thought that was kind of cool how they did that. Um, it was a good match, especially considering they got to kind of go one on one without interference until they actually came out. So, any thoughts on the Drew Galloway MVP match?
Um, I like that the BDC didn't immediately come out like last week. It was like ring bell, here they come. But they didn't do that last week. And I thought it was a really good match up until the BDC did eventually come out. As for after the match, I thought they were gonna try to have Samoa Joe kind of turn on the BDC at that point because they have to do it eventually because he's already out of TNA. He's
Yeah, and
over.
just so you know, next week is his last week. I don't know. I didn't know if you knew
Okay.
that or if anybody else knew that. But last
Okay.
week is his last week.
It's still so weird the fact that he's still on TV on TNA and he's in Ring of Honor now. It just I don't know. But when Low Key hit Drew with the pipe, the only thing I didn't like is you could clearly see that he hit the pole. It didn't even look kind of close if you watched it back. Um, which they got to pick their spots better, to make it look like more real, because that's what they're trying to say. They're trying to say, oh, they hit him with the pipe, with the blood and everything, but it's not consistent. Um, but I like that Drew Galloway is kind of the one guy standing up to the BDC, and standing up for wrestling fans, wanting to bring real wrestling back, bring the power back to the fans, But I'm excited to see what they do with him, and I'm excited for next week now to see how they kind of send off Samoa Joe.
I feel like it's gonna be like he's just gonna be gone because I don't know how they're gonna do it. I feel like the commentators are really the only people who have control over it. It seems like because if they taped it in advance, not necessarily knowing that he was gonna leave, because it
Yeah.
kind of was spur of the moment a little bit too. So I don't know. It's gonna be interesting to see what they do though.
Yeah.
But next we have Magnus backstage with Mickey James. Magnus doesn't want Mickey out there, which obviously means she's gonna find a way to be out there during his match against Bram. Obviously, that's wrestling logic 101. So any thoughts on the Magnus backstage with Mickey thing? Nothing really.
Not really. It was kind of short. Wasn't really anything. Which I know we like that in wrestling now because we're always used to the long, backstage segments or promos. But I feel like at some points they have to be a little bit longer to make them matter because this doesn't really matter.
So next we get a video package on Spud and EC3. I felt like this was just getting us excited for the main event. Then we get EC3 backstage. He says Sting, Angle, Bully, names synonymous with wrestling greatness. Spud, failure, 99%. Loser, you wanted to do this so bad that we had to come to your hometown to do it. I'm sorry, friend. Tonight will not be your night. So, I could see it all night that EC3 um, it felt like he was kind of different tonight. He wasn't as cocky as he usually is, which makes sense later on in the show. But he wasn't as cocky as he usually is. He wasn't like as confident. He was kind of had that dissentment where he didn't really wanna felt like he didn't really want to go through with this match or something like that. I don't know if you felt that, but like just watching his facial expressions and stuff, and the way he talked, sometimes it just felt like that. Any thoughts on the video package or the EC3 backstage thing?
Not really. I just don't like the outcome of the match later, but we'll get into that because it it just didn't seem right to me. Um, but we'll get to that.
All right, so we got a video package on Bram and Magnus. Nothing really there. Any thoughts on that?
No, but by the way, Ryan, that's why you're fired. That's why you're fired.
Ryan's obviously chatting with us on Spreaker right now. So Bram versus Magnus in just a normal one-on-one match, which is surprising considering Magnus said he was going to spill the blood of Bram. But I guess obviously you got to start with something and then build on it. So Bram obviously trying to be the aggressor like he always is. He takes control while he's in the ring. Magnus uses the steps and kind of takes control outside of the ring, which was opposite of what I expected. Magnus is kind of the technical one, and I feel like Bram's kind of the brawler. So I kind of expected it to be kind of vice versa there. Um, Bram takes advantage with a clothesline to the back of the head, really working the head and upper neck area. Bram reminds me of Edge a lot with his moves. He does the impaler, he does the that little hair pull, sit down slam or whatever that Edge used to do too. So he reminds me of Edge with a lot of his moves that he does. Mickey James comes out, obviously. You didn't expect her not to come out. Magnus gets, he starts to get hyped though. I like this because it was a little bit different than usual. Usually, you see the girl or you see the person who's not supposed to come out, you get distracted and lose. But Magnus kind of got fired up off of it, which was kind of a cool turn. As Bram hits a low blow, and Magnus says, and he looks to take control. Mickey, I think that actually ended this match too. That low blow because Magnus was taking control and he hit the low blow to kind of end it. Mickey was distracting the ref trying to get in to help her fiance, but Bram just beats down Magnus. He grabs the cue ball and a zip tie. He ties him up in the ropes. Mickey comes in. She looks to kind of cover up her man, but Bram grabs Mickey. He gets slapped. Bram still having Mickey. He says, "Look at what I've got. I used to look up to you, but now you look up to you." He said, "I will take away everything you love. I'll let her go if you kiss my boot." Magnus is kind of like, I'm not gonna kiss this man's boot, but then again, he's got his girl, so he can't be, you know, kissing boots or women, whichever one he wants, one of them. He can't, got to choose. So Magnus does eventually kiss the boot. Um, the just something I took away was the elbow drop by Magnus. It looked really good. It looked like he put his heart and his soul into it. That's what I'm gonna start saying though. I'm just gonna start saying "kiss my boot" to everyone. When they make me mad, just kiss my boot. And, that's what's gonna happen. Any thoughts on the Bram Magnus match? Ended in disqualification.
Well, first of all, he said, "Now you look up to me, not now you look up to you," because that
I,
doesn't
I thought I thought so, but I wrote it down, so I was not gonna deviate from.
that does not make sense there. Uh, I like how this started out in the rampway. They weren't gonna wait. Um, and I like how Bram was focusing on Magnus's back and like head and neck and everything. It made sense for the storyline. A lot of times, they don't really do that, and it doesn't make sense. But that was smart on his part. Another thing I didn't like at the end of the match when I don't understand why Brian Hebner was trying to keep Mickey from getting in the ring instead of trying to stop Bram. It it kind of like it felt like he was being distracted during the match, but the match was over. He should have been trying to stop those two. Not it just kind of didn't really make sense to me. I don't know, but I like I'm kind of curious where this is going. If they're gonna kind of continue this feud or because I mean he did have him kiss his boot, which could be like the end of a feud. Like I win, whatever. But it seems like there needs to be more. Hopefully, because I really like this match. This match kind of um it reminded me of like in a way old like Triple H and The Rock matches, back in the Attitude Era, two really big guys, but along with being big, they're very athletic and they know how to wrestle. Like these guys, both Bram and Magnus, are really good in the ring. You know, Bram is more of the kind of brawler, but he still can really wrestle well. And he kind of does remind me of Edge in a way. Now that you kind of pointed that out, but yeah, good match. I'm excited to see what they do next with this kind of feud. Hopefully, they don't just kind of give up on it like they do a lot of times.
Yeah, I know. Especially considering it ended up in a disqualification, I could see it kind of continuing. He's like, you embarrass me in front of my girl or whatever. I could see that kind of happening. Um, Next we get a BDC backstage type of thing. I didn't catch all of this because it was coming at me pretty fast. And as I'm watching it, my grandma's talking to me, and I'm like, I can't really talk and listen and type at the same time. So, did you get all of this? I know I got MVP is synonymous with BDC. BDC is synonymous with all of we. The blood, the blood has just begun to flow. He says this is the BDC son. Is low key just I don't know where he's coming from now, but he says son a lot. He says this is the BDC son. It's on son. We warned you. We told you. We are the BDC. Um, and Joe started talking about eliminating and emasculating. So they're just pointing at Galloway here, basically. I didn't get it all, but I tried to get as much as I could, given the
Yeah,
circumstances.
I was stuck on the fact that apparently Loki is off his medication now. Like he is just crazy. What like does he legit think he's in a gang now? Like it's just a show. Calm down.
Bringing him back to his Brooklyn days. Bringing him back to Brooklyn as a child. Yeah, Loki's taking this serious. He don't care. But next, for some odd reason, this is real life here. We got Robbie E of the Bromans going up against Brooke Tessmacher. Yes, it happened. Like I'm not like joking either. Like man on woman match here. Intergender, as Josh Matthews attempted to call it. Uh, but it was interesting. I guess this is like the funny match of the night. I guess. Um, you know, Robbie was just out of control in this match. Um, Robbie's doing the crossover taunt like he's like, go out to shoot the J or something. I don't even know. I don't even know what Robbie was doing. He just hit that crossover taunt after everything. Robbie hits the crossover taunt, grabs the stool, takes a break, pushes Brooke down, cartwheels, runs away, sits on the stool again. And Taz is like, well, that's the end of round two. Every time he sits on the stool, he calls it the end of the round. I thought that was pretty funny. You get to test the strength. Obviously, Robbie E wins, but Brooke comes back with the strikes, the crossover taunt of her own, grabs a stool. She sits down. Robbie E using the hair, sits back down. Gets him some water. Got to take him a little bit of another break. I think there was like 4 rounds in this match or something like that. Um, Robbie E with a suplex on Brooke, which I was surprised of. Um, Robbie misses the dive. Love gets involved. Brooke with a springboard crossbody on Love. Jesse drop kicks Robbie by accident. Brooke goes in for the pin and wins the match. So Brooke is winning over Robbie E. So what's left for Robbie E now? Any thoughts on this match?
Um, I love seeing Brooke, and I think she's really talented. But what the hell is the point of this rivalry? I it doesn't make sense. I know they're trying to put a funny match in there, but this whole eh, there's a lot better things they could be doing with Robbie E and Brooke. Brooke could be in the Knockouts Championship picture. You know, Robbie E. And you know, well, I mean, Robbie E can't really do anything except for be Robbie E. Never mind. I was gonna say, tag team or X Division, but I can't take him seriously with belt. He just no. But no, I want to see Brooke in something serious with like the title because I liked her as the Knockouts champion, and I think she is really talented in the ring. I think she's one of the few women wrestlers on TV anymore that's really talented. And to put her in stupid matches like this, it seems disrespectful to her. Even though it is supposed to be like a fun, angle and whatever, but I don't know. Hopefully, it kind of ends soon and they can do something more productive with her. Because she did kind of just return not too long ago after being gone for a while. So, um, you know,
Yeah, she did. She like just came back. Yeah, Brooke is very nice to look at though. That's a true statement. She was coming out. I was like, all right then. um, but after that, Matthews kind of talks about the World Heavyweight Championship match. He talks about how Angle was the first TNA World Heavyweight Champion. I was like, what? No. I think he did say that. I'm pretty sure he said. I don't know if he meant to say that, but like it came out like that, and I was like, wait a minute. He's not. No, not in any way. Pretty sure it was AJ Styles, but no.
I I think he was technically the first TNA World Heavyweight Champion because before that it was NWA TNA.
Oh, okay, gotcha. That makes sense then. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Um, but then we get video packages, just basically pumping us up for the title match next week on Angle's journey, Lashley's journey, kind of how they train, differences in their training. Um, any thoughts on the Matthews talk? I guess it made it feel like a big match to me. That's all I felt. Especially with him kind of sitting at the desk analyzing it. Thoughts on the talking and the video package?
Uh, Not really. Um, I'm kind of excited to see them, wrestle, but I still want to see somebody new in the world heavyweight picture. That's one thing that bothers me about it is it's always somebody who's already been champion. I, it's not really anybody new, unfortunately.
Yeah, I agree. But next we got hair versus hair, which is great. And I think these two guys are definitely in the line for a world heavyweight championship push at some point, especially kind of being the future of the company. So obviously with these younger guys, we're gonna see some um, kind of we're gonna see more people come into it. Obviously, I don't think Kurt Angle has a ton left. He still looks good, but still you want to retire in time to kind of you know have life afterwards. Um, but next we got Rockstar Spud versus EC3 in a hair versus hair match, or technically a hair versus hair and Shriek match. Um, so I thought this match was good. They even put a warning up that this match was going to be brutal. Um, they they kind of tried to hide the brutality a little bit. I'm not really sure why, but they did with the black and white, which I don't really know what black and white does to hide blood. It doesn't really blend it in any or anything. I'm not really sure what they were going with there. Um, but let's just get to the match. So I was thinking, EC3 didn't troll at all, but before this match, he was kind of serious. He was kind of ready to go, but he was kind of like, I'm not really sure. It was kind. I kind of had that vibe the entire night. Um, I felt like they should have had a bald ref so EC3 could kind of continue to be a troll, as he always is. Spud looked to take the advantage, immediately, right now, and he does that. He does that exactly. He starts to bite the face of EC3. EC3 comes back with a nice discus lariat. Tyrus then comes out. We get a power bomb onto the floor. Only ended up being a near fall, but nice power bomb by Tyrus. Shout out to Big T. Mr. Anderson comes out to kind of even the odds here. We get a mic check on the floor. EC3 starts to use the brace on everyone ever. Fans, me, Casey, Ryan. It doesn't matter. He was using that brace on everyone he
It
saw.
really hurt
Um,
too.
and he busted open Spud. EC3 with just brutality, trying to just take out the wound, trying to just make it worse. I love how EC3 started using different moves he kind of learned from the people he beat. He used the Stinger Splash, which was nice touch. JB comes in with a low blow on EC3. We get the Rockstar Stunner on EC3 for a near fall. The swinging guillotine. Um, who did that like swinging cutter type of thing? Was that EC3? I didn't write down who actually did it, but I thought it was nice.
I don't remember.
I don't either. I think it may have been EC3. But EC3 just starts to pound Spud's head into the mat. But Spud, his inner Axel mania, I mean Hulkamania, starts to Hulk up, takes the bow tie off, and he does the U like Hulk Hogan does. I love that. Uh, he does a forearm shining wizard combo, does the shake rattle roll with the grapefruit claw. He channels every legend ever alive ever. He does the underdog, at least attempts it, reversed into a forearm by the brace again for the near fall. Or maybe it was the Nikki Bella forearm, maybe. Um, hits the one percenter, EC3 does, but like still at this point, he still doesn't seem to be like he kind of thought about it a little bit. He was like, "Do I really want to go through with this?" He hits the one percenter, doesn't really seem to be feeling it, and that's how he wins the match. Spud put up one heck of a fight. Some things I took away, just some good things I saw in this match. The running chair drop kick by Spud was nice when EC3 was kind of sitting in the chair. The drop kick looked really nice. The diving flipping senton by Spud, the rock star stunner, and the swinging guillotine. I thought all of that was nice. And I'll talk about the post match here in a second. Any thoughts on the match per se?
I thought it was a really good match. Even though Wikipedia kind of ruined it for me yesterday. When I looked up what you told me to look up, and I was like, oh, okay. But I like that Spud got busted open. We don't see blood that much anymore, and that may be why, they tried to, censor it because we're not, the younger fans aren't really used to that anymore because we haven't really been seeing it on a consistent level as we used to. We used to see it like every week. But I just thought it was stupid that they kept going from black and white to help the graphic nature, as they said. Because we've seen a lot worse than what Spud had. It didn't make sense that it only went black and white when they were showing like right on his face. All the other times it went back to normal color. I was like, either keep it black and white because it kind of did give it a cool effect in a way, or keep it color. Don't switch back and forth. It just looks stupid. And it's not really It's not censoring anything. But it was a good match. I was surprised. Um, my boy Spud, he put in a valiant effort. But he's gonna get his title soon. You'll see. You check
Yeah,
in
he
next
will.
week. He's gonna get it.
Yeah, he will. So EC3, um, EC3 cut the promo afterwards. He says, "Rockstar spoke without a shadow of a doubt. You have a huge heart. Um, he says I've done some heinous things to you. I was just trying to make a statement," and this kind of just went back to that kind of I'm not sure if I really want to do this type of thing, and that's kind of how it felt. He said, "Spud, in front of your home people, you proved you belong in Impact Wrestling. Despite your size, there's a chance that one day you can be a world champion." He says, "I'm not gonna shave your head tonight," and it was weird because as soon as he said that, the fans kind of booed a little bit. They were kind of upset. They kind of want to see somebody get their head shaved. Um, so I don't know if you caught that the fans kind of just weren't feeling that he wasn't going to shave anyone's head. Um,
I,
he
I felt
says,
I felt like they booed because we're not that dumb. We know he's not really a good guy now.
yeah.
like
But he said he proved he was a man. He said, "Shake my hand and end this on good terms." They shake each other's hands and they're about to walk out of the ring. EC3 pulls Spud down. He says, "Not." Spud, time to pay, time to pay. EC3 shaves Rockstar Spud's head in color in black and white. It doesn't matter how you show it. He's got a shaved head. EC3 doesn't, he says, "Take notice. This industry, this company, this world, it's now mine." And personally, this whole match, this whole thing, I think they really use this to kind of put Spud over a lot by like even an enemy. Like even though it, we kind of knew he was not gonna do it. The whole resentment the entire night, the way EC3 kind of sold it the entire night that he wasn't really feeling it, and then how he basically came out and told us, even though he said not, he told us that he told us all these things we knew about Spud that we were just waiting for someone else to kind of say. I thought that kind of just helped put over Spud, even though Spud got embarrassed in the long run. So I thought it was a good match. I thought that it really showed a lot of what both of these guys can do, and I'm excited for more singles matches in the future with both of these guys. Especially EC3 and especially Spud. Both of them in general, just I think it's going to be really good. Yes. Oh yeah, it's on another one because it's only 30 minutes, so it's on. Oh, you're fine. But so we had the hair versus hair match. It was good. Any thoughts on that last little piece there? I just thought it was a good put over moment, but still, EC3 is going to embarrass him because the point.
Well, first of all, it still looks like we are still live on Spreaker, so that's kind of cool. At 41 minutes and 36 seconds. So I mean,
I think what I did, I shut down the other one because I knew it was going to shut down, and then I started a new one just specifically for the hair versus hair.
oh, you just threw me off. Thought we were gonna get longer, but anyway, um, I after the match he did the promo, which it just I knew it wasn't what he was trying to make it out to be. I knew he wasn't gonna be a good guy. I was just waiting for the attack. But I felt like when he did attack him, it was a little bit overkill. Like the feud's over. It seemed a little too much. But and then when he was shaving Spud's head, the camera went to black and white again. Why? Consistency, TNA. Look it up in the dictionary. My God. But I mean, like I said, it made it a cool effect. But either keep it black and white or keep it color. Don't keep switching back and forth. It just makes this. It makes it look stupid. And I can't take it seriously. I think that ruined it for me. This would have been an awesome match if they didn't do that, and it would have been an awesome segment if they didn't do that. Um, but it's a good match. I'm excited for next week because I looked at Wikipedia, and if you haven't looked at Wikipedia, don't, because it'll ruin it, like it did for me this week.
Yeah, Wikipedia is absolutely horrible and makes me upset. I have spoiled myself so many times on Wikipedia, just looking for really nothing, and I just end up finding stuff, and I'm like, no, So I'm excited though for next week because there's going to be some exciting stuff. Um, Overall, I thought this show was good. I really did. I thought it was really good. I thought it was kind of stacked with matches and kind of had those short backstage segments. That's kind of what we've been looking for. It started off with a match, which I think just puts the show up even higher. I love that they gave EC3 and Spud the main event because that just shows you the direction of TNA a little bit too in the future. It kind of shows that those guys have that potential. So I thought that was really cool, especially considering Spud went from lackey to main eventer. You know what I mean? I like that. So thoughts on the overall show, closing thoughts, any other things you need
Um,
to say?
well, the show kind of seemed short to me tonight. I don't know why. But it just didn't seem as long. That's not necessarily a bad thing, but it just seemed short. But a good show. I also wanted to kind of throw in, if you didn't know, John Hennigan, aka Johnny Nitro, aka Johnny, what's his name in,
Mundo.
yeah,
Mundo.
that one, is going to be in a movie in 2015, so that's kind of cool. It's a kids movie, so it's not anything that you're gonna want to run out and see. But I just saw that on the TV and I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. But I'm excited for next week. You know, I'm excited to see what direction TNA is going in. Because it's still kind of in a gray area since they've been on um, Destination America. It seems like they haven't really found a specific direction that they're quite going with, but they're doing a lot of cool stuff. You know, they're kind of showing off their you know overseas talent. Guys from the UK. Well, just guys from the UK. They don't have anyone else. But which is one thing that I would love to see more people from other countries, other places in the world, in TNA, not just the UK, because I mean they have like Sonata and Tigre. Well, they don't have Tigre Uno anymore. He's somewhere.
Yeah. No, they have him. He just signed an extension actually.
Yeah, but where has he been? Nowhere.
He's coming back. He's coming back after next week. He's coming back.
Yeah. I think that's one of the ways they need to go is getting more diversity in
You got
their.
your boy Jinder Mahal. You got your boy.
Well, yeah, they got Jinder Mahal, my boy Jinder Mahal. Uh, you know, they need a Hawaiian. That's what they need. They need their version of the Usos. They need a Hawaiian. That's
Then all we're gonna get TNA copied WWE again. They brought in the Usos. There's just no positive ground for TNA with these fans today. So they bring in a trash can for a superstar. Copy. like, did you have any other final thoughts you needed to say?
nope.
All right. Um, Final thoughts. I think I kind of already gave my final thoughts. I thought it was a good show. So that's about all I had for you. I want to shout out some new subscribers real quick, just because be a nice thing. Um, Freaking Solomon Crow hacking things. Thank you for subscribing though. Yeah, you don't know how much I love you for it. Um, David Armstrong and Aubrey James. Check out those guys. They look like they have channels. So Aubrey James, Aubrey James, and Solomon Crow. I think you got that one. Check out those guys on YouTube and see what they have to do that as well. Thanks again for LB Clash of Kings for being here. My comment tracker is still being as stupid as it can be, so I'm going to read his comments real quick. He says, glad to see you guys fix the live show again after Solomon Crow hacked you guys. I am also glad to see it, even though he hacked my microphone as I came on, because I'm using this original one here, the original microphone. But and he said EC3 is going to make an awesome future TNA World Champion and main eventer. I agree. He's pretty good. So I'm excited though. I am excited for the future. Excited to see next week. It's gonna be fun. Definitely. Some things we know that we shouldn't know, but that we do know. So hope you guys enjoyed. Talk to you guys later. Feel free to subscribe if you haven't subscribed already, because that's a mistake. That's a mistake. Check us out on Spreaker. Well, on Spreaker, it's on the Twitter page. I'm not sure the exact link yet, but it's on the podcast Twitter. So if you follow that to the left of me, then it'll be there for you. So I hope you guys enjoy. See you guys later. Peace.